Well, social media site Reddit is looking to make one last splash in 2021 in what has been an incredible growth year for the company. The platform that spawned the meme trade frenzy back in January, announcing on Wednesday that it is in fact filing to go public. The company is yet to announce how many shares it's offering or the price range it is seeking to offer those shares at. Zach, we've talked so much about Reddit, specifically the subreddit group Wall Street Bets this year. But this is a company that's been around for 16 years. They have seen incredible growth this year, especially. I'm really curious to see how this, I know that the discussion's already started in Wall Street Bets, but I am curious to see what they offer up in terms of retail investors in this offering, because that has provided a big lift for the platform.
Yeah, obviously, the reason why we talk so much about Reddit this year, at least on this show, granted, it's just a small piece of, I guess, what Reddit offers, is the fact that, Wall Street Bets has become a big piece of the retail trade and things that we check out in there now on the daily. Of course, we talk about this company because there have been such resistance to, I guess, kind of leaning into advertising, trying to make it feel that it has been organic and really leaning into that community aspect that comes from Reddit. But you're right to point out this company has been around for a long time, and they necessarily haven't really leaned on changing their ad strategy until recently. As we all know, they've been preparing to kind of firm up their IPO plans to go public. And you look at maybe some of the growth there, advertising revenue north of $100 million for the first time in Q2 this year. That was triple what it was just a year ago. And if you think about the fact that they could keep that up, they haven't really leaned into video ads yet, which we all know carry a premium too. So if that's going to be true and they can do that successfully, there's a lot of upside here to Reddit. The problem is if you think that that will come at the detriment to what we've seen and kind of how people trust the platform as a place to go for organic interactions, obviously that's a big question mark here as we see them ramp that piece of the business up. But this is one that is, I think, underutilized relative to some of the bigger ad platforms and social media companies like a Facebook or a Twitter.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you think about just the interactions on the platform, it hasn't changed a whole lot, which is why it's continued to attract users. And they do have a lot of eyeballs on the platform, 50 million daily visitors, about 100,000 active subreddits. It's worth noting here some of the big investors that could see a windfall on the back of an IPO, Sequoia Capital, Andreessen Horowitz, but also remember Tencent invested about $150 million back in 2019. There was a lot of uproar when that happened. There were concerns about a Chinese company investing in the platform, whether that would lead to censorship. That certainly hasn't happened, but it'll be interesting to see how the market values this company, to your point, because of the structure of it. It certainly has not pulled all the levers in terms of incoming revenue. And I think a lot of users are going to be looking to this to say, is the Reddit experience going to change in a significant way now that, or once it becomes a public company?
Yeah, I guess, obviously, I guess some of these same questions were lobbied toward BuzzFeed when we saw them kind of tap the public markets too. And, I'm not sure how much it really changes the aspect of the company operating itself, but truly you would see some of that change if you are getting thrown ads everywhere or if they really start to lean in there. It is interesting, though, to think about kind of how long, as you said, this company's been around for quite some time. Alexis Ohanian selling it to Condé Nast, back in like 2006 or something. So, it has changed hands quite a bit, not necessarily the same kind of founder story all the way through up until IPO, a bit untraditional in that route, but still, obviously, still has a large, I guess, piece of love from the original community that's always been on the platform. And really, we talk so much about the Wall Street Bets piece, but that could happen for a lot of different communities still, I think, outside the investing community here. And whether or not that happens, obviously another big question mark. But either way, this company has had the track record to show that it's been successful up until this point. I'm just not sure if it's going to deliver kind of the same growth that we'd see from some earlier stage IPOs. And really, to be honest, those haven't really existed as these companies have stayed private for longer. That's really been the theme for a while now.
Yeah, this is another tech platform that is not profitable yet. Certainly one of the questions it's likely to get from investors ahead of the listing. By the way, we've been talking so much about the IPO market this year. More than 900 companies going public, raising nearly $300 billion this year. And of course, we've talked a lot about some of the EV names like Rivian, but many more. And to your point, it's been a bit of a mixed picture here, but I mean, the chart says it all in terms of the sheer number of companies that have come to market. And it certainly looks like Reddit looking to ride that momentum as well at the end of the year.